Meow, my friends. South Korea's political scene has gone more bonkers than a cat in a room full of laser pointers. On December 3rd, 2024, President Yoon Yeol decided to play dictator for a day, declaring martial law faster than you can say kimchi. His excuse? Threats from anti-state forces. Because nothing says democracy like treating your own people as the enemy, right? But hold on to your chopsticks. Because the National Assembly wasn't having it. They shut down his little power trip quicker than a K-pop dance routine, leaving Yoon with egg on his face and the country in an uproar. It's like they were playing political whack-a-mole, and Yoon was the mole who didn't know when to stay down. The fallout? Oh, it's juicier than a Korean barbecue. Protests erupted across Seoul like a volcano of angry voters, with an estimated 500,000 to 750,000 people hitting the streets. That's more people than there are noodles in a bowl of ramyeon. They're not just waving signs, my friends. They're wielding memes and hashtags like weapons of mass humiliation. Yoon Yeol is trending faster than BTS tickets. And let me tell you, it's not because people fancy a presidential fan club. This whole debacle is giving South Koreans some serious déjà vu. It's like the ghost of dictatorships past decided to pop in for a quick hello. For those of you who slept through history class, South Korea's got a bit of a checkered past with authoritarian rule. So when Yoon pulled this stunt, it was about as welcome as a mosquito at a nudist colony. But wait, there's more. The opposition parties, smelling blood in the water, launched an impeachment motion faster than you can say scandal. They gathered in the National Assembly ready to give Yoon the boot. But here's where it gets really spicy. Yoon's own party, the People Power Party, decided to play hooky. They boycotted the vote, leaving the assembly emptier than a politician's promises. Without a quorum, the impeachment attempt flopped harder than a bad soap opera plot twist. Let's talk numbers, shall we? Before this mess, Yoon's approval rating was sitting pretty at a whopping 17%. I've seen higher numbers on a thermostat in Antarctica. But after his martial law misadventure, it plummeted to 13%. That's lower than the chances of me turning down a saucer of milk, my friends. It's like Yoon's popularity is trying to limbo under a bar set by a penguin in a heatwave. The economy's taking a hit too. The South Korean won dropped faster than a hot potato, hitting 1,444 per US dollar. That's its lowest point in 25 months. The stock market's looking shakier than a Jenga tower in an earthquake, with the iShares MSCI South Korea ETF tumbling 5%. It's enough to make even the most stoic banker break out in a cold sweat. Opposition leader Lee Jae-myung didn't mince words. He said, "There's no justification for declaring martial law. We cannot let the military rule the country." Coming from a guy who's usually about as subtle as a sledgehammer, that's practically poetry. Meow, let's break down this impeachment process for you. In South Korea, it's like a really high-stakes game of red light, green light. First, you need a simple majority in the National Assembly to say green light. But here's the catch. You need at least half the players on the field for the game to count. Without that, it's like trying to play soccer with just the goalie and the referee. Even Yoon's own party is starting to back away slowly, like a cat who's knocked over a vase. Han Dong-hun, a bigwig in the People Power Party, admitted they need an orderly exit for Yoon. That's political speak for abandoned ship. The international community's watching this drama unfold with a mix of concern and barely concealed amusement. US Deputy Secretary of State Kurt Campbell called Yoon's martial law move badly misjudged. That's diplomat speak for, "What in the name of democracy were you thinking, mate?" But let's not forget the real heroes of this saga, the labour unions. They're planning strikes that will make the country grind to a halt faster than rush hour traffic in Seoul. We're talking disruptions in transport, education and metal sectors. Even car giants like Hyundai and GM Korea are bracing for impact. It's like the whole country's decided to take an impromptu vacation, except instead of beaches, they're headed to protest rallies. And where are these protests happening? Gwanghwamun Plaza, of course. This isn't just any old square, my friends. This is to protest what Broadway is to theatre. It's seen more political drama than a season of House of Cards. When South Koreans want to make a point, this is where they come to dot the I's and cross the T's. Meow, it's hard to believe that Yoon used to be the Prosecutor General, known for his anti-corruption stance. Talk about a plot twist worthy of a K-drama. It's like he went from being the referee to the player who gets a red card. His martial law declaration was about as popular as kimchi-flavoured ice cream at a summer festival. This whole fiasco isn't just a domestic headache, it's got implications bigger than a sumo wrestler in a smart car. South Korea's role in regional security is wobblier than a newborn giraffe, and its allies are watching with bated breath. At this rate, Yoon might find himself impeached faster than you can say Gangnam Style backwards. Let's talk numbers again, because nothing says political drama like cold hard stats. In that failed impeachment vote, 105 out of 300 National Assembly members didn't show up. That's like 1/3 of the cast calling in sick on opening night of a Broadway show. If you're finding this political rollercoaster as dizzy as Yoon's grip on power, smash that like button faster than the National Assembly repealed martial law. Trust me, my friends, you don't want to miss a single whisker of this tale. But let's not lose sight of the bigger picture here. This isn't just about Yoon's political fumble. It's about the resilience of South Korea's democracy. The people have spoken, and they're not whispering. They're shouting from the rooftops, armed with protest signs and an arsenal of snarky memes. It's a reminder that in a true democracy, the power ultimately lies with the people, even if sometimes it takes a crisis to remind the politicians of that fact. As we wrap up this episode of Political Pandemonium, one thing's clear. South Korea's in for a bumpy ride. Will Yoon survive this storm, or will he be forced to bid farewell to the Blue House? Will the protests lead to real change, or will they fizzle out like a damp firecracker? And most importantly, how many more K-pop songs will be remixed into protest chants before this is all over? In the end, Yoon's martial law gambit has turned out to be about as successful as trying to herd cats with a feather duster. It's a stark reminder that in politics, as in life, sometimes the harder you try to hold on to power, the faster it slips through your fingers. So buckle up, my friends. This political rollercoaster is far from over, and if Yoon's not careful, he might just find himself ejected from the ride. Stay with us for ongoing coverage. I'm Ron De Parmesan, and this has been another Newscat special report.